I'm going to create a new measure. Okay. So how do you create a new measure? The very first step is to follow along. There's a different ways to create a new measure. You can either pick this new measure here on the top, or else you can go to the sales table, right click on this new three dots and click on new measure here, the very first option. Okay. So first we are going to understand the syntax. Okay. So this is how the formula bar comes up where you can write your DAX formula. So I'm going to name it, let's say, total sales is my new measure that I'm planning to create. Under total sales, I'm going to write sum. What is sum? Sum is one of the DAX formula. Okay. So before you type in, let's see, I'm going to type in sum. So when I typed in sum, we got a lot of suggestions here. Okay. You can see even when I typed in S, there are plenty of suggestions by Power BI desktop. Okay. So this is called IT Listens. There is something behind the scenes. IT Listens is trying to help us with its intelligence. It is trying to suggest all these functions. There are thousands of DAX functions. Okay. So we are going to give some suggestions by the Power BI desktop. And as you can see here, we have to pick, since I'm aware of what I'm going to write, I'm going to write the sum. So as soon as I get this sum, I can select this, and you can also see there's an read more option. There's a symbol greater than symbol where you can click on it to see what exactly the sum function does. It says adds all the numbers in a column. So it is also trying to help us with understanding what that function does. And when you click on that function, and the next step you get is the syntax. So there is a statement which shows below, says that adds all the numbers in a column. It helps us to understand, okay, the function does this thing. But again, if you look at the top, it also gives us syntax. Okay, it's just expecting the column name. Okay, let us remove this sum and let us pull in some other function called sumx. Now you see the difference. It says this function does something different, right? It says return the sum of an expression evaluated for each row. This does something different. We'll talk about that later. And now you can see it also says a different syntax. Earlier, when I put sum, the syntax was different. Now, when I put sum x, the syntax will be different. Table, comma, expression. Okay. So that means it is helping us to understand what is the syntax. Okay. So you need to pass a table first and then write the expression. Okay. So this is going to be easy. Let's say I'm going to write another function called calculate. Now you see the definition of it is different and the syntax is different. So every function has got its own syntax, and this is how we are going to get help from the Power BI desktop. So we need not worry, as and when we write new function, we're going to help from the Power BI desktop. At the same time, we are going to learn through entire these things in our journey. Okay, this is all about the syntax. So syntax is going to be help us, like the suggestion coming from our Power BI desktop is going to help us with the understanding of the syntax. Okay. Now we're going to jumpstart, and since we have started with this, we're going to write a simple function called total sales. I'm going to write sum. Okay. And then column name. So column name is nothing but total revenue. So total sales is nothing but our total revenue. So this is one of the column names, which is under the sales table. You can see this is sales table, and there is a total revenue column here. So I'm just pulling the total revenue column, which is from sales table, table name and the column name. And then I'm going to close the bracket as per the syntax. And once it is done, we need to click on the tick mark here. Commit. Tick mark says it's a commit. When you click on tick mark, now we have successfully created a measure. This is called as our DAX measure. And you can see the symbol of the measure here. There's a calculator symbol. Right. Now we have successfully created a total sales measure.